The air was filled with the sounds of a bustling city. People rushed to work, tourists admired the architecture. Then, everything changed. A car, a common sight, transformed into a weapon of terror. It plowed into the unsuspecting crowd near Munich's central train station. Screams pierced the air, replacing the city's usual hum. Chaos reigned as the car, an instrument of destruction, left a trail of devastation in its wake. The peaceful rhythm of life in Munich was shattered. This bustling transportation hub, a crossroads for locals and travelers alike, became a scene of carnage. The metallic screech of the car, the shattering of glass, and the terrified cries for help replaced the usual sounds of the city. A day that began like any other was irrevocably marred by violence. This act of terror, striking at the heart of Munich, sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. The image of the car, a symbol of everyday life turned deadly, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of peace. In those horrifying moments, as the dust settled and the sirens wailed, the world watched in horror, united in grief and disbelief. At least 20 lives were forever changed that day. The injured, some fighting for their lives, are a stark reminder of the human cost of this tragedy. Among them were children, their innocence shattered by the violence. Their small bodies, too fragile to withstand such force, lay wounded, their futures uncertain. Each victim has a story, a life that was brutally interrupted. A young couple, hand in hand, looking forward to a day exploring the city. An elderly man enjoying his retirement and a walk in the sunshine. A student rushing to class, eager to learn, their dreams, their aspirations, their futures, all hanging precariously in the balance. The physical wounds will heal, but the emotional scars will likely remain. The survivors will carry the weight of that day, the memories forever etched in their minds. The families of the injured face an agonizing weight, their hopes and fears intertwined with every update from the hospital. The impact of this tragedy extends far beyond the immediate victims. It has left an indelible mark on the city of Munich, a city known for its warmth and vibrancy. The sense of security, of peace, has been shaken to its core. The alleged perpetrator, a 24-year-old Afghan asylum seeker, is now in custody. His motives remain shrouded in mystery, a puzzle that investigators are working tirelessly to solve. What drove him to commit such a horrific act? Was it a premeditated attack, fueled by hate and extremism? Or was it the act of a desperate individual pushed to the brink by circumstances beyond his control? His past offers some clues, but no easy answers. Police records paint a picture of a troubled young man, known for previous offenses. He was no stranger to the law, but the nature of his past crimes remains undisclosed. Were these earlier offenses a cry for help, a sign of deeper troubles brewing beneath the surface? The investigation is ongoing, with authorities delving into every aspect of the suspect's life. They are piecing together his movements, his online activity, his contacts, searching for any shred of evidence that might shed light on his motives. The world waits for answers, demanding justice for the victims and their families. The suspect's background, his status as an asylum seeker, has ignited a firestorm of debate. Some point to his past, demanding stricter immigration policies. Others urge caution, stressing the need for due process and a fair trial. The tragedy has become a flashpoint, a stark reminder of the complex and often divisive issues surrounding immigration and integration. The timing of this horrific incident, just one day before the start of the prestigious Munich Security Conference, has sent shockwaves through the international community. World leaders, including U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, are scheduled to attend this annual gathering, a forum for discussing the world's most pressing security challenges. The conference, now overshadowed by the tragedy, will likely focus on the ongoing war in Ukraine. The conflict, which has destabilized the region and sent ripples of uncertainty across the globe, will be at the forefront of discussions. World leaders will grapple with the complex geopolitical landscape, searching for solutions to the ongoing crisis. The attack in Munich, a city known for its peace and stability, serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of global security. It underscores the reality that even in the heart of Europe, violence can erupt without warning. The conference, once a platform for dialogue and diplomacy, now carries the weight of this tragedy, a somber reminder of the fragility of peace. Security measures have been heightened in the wake of the attack, with a visible increase in police presence throughout the city. The streets of Munich, usually bustling with life, are now patrolled by armed officers, a stark reminder of the ever-present threat. The world watches, hoping for a peaceful and productive conference, while grappling with the knowledge that the shadow of this tragedy will loom large. Section 5. A cry for help, the childcare workers' protest. Adding another layer of complexity to this tragedy is the fact that the car rammed into a group of demonstrators. These were not political activists or radical groups, but childcare workers, protesting peacefully for better wages and working conditions. Their voices, raised in unison for a cause that affects us all, the well-being of our children, were tragically silenced by the roar of the engine and the screams of the injured. Their demands, often overlooked in the daily grind of political discourse, are a stark reminder of the struggles faced by many essential workers. These individuals, responsible for nurturing and shaping young minds, are often undervalued and underpaid. Their protest was a cry for recognition, a plea for fair treatment, a desperate attempt to improve their lives and the lives of the children they care for. The irony is heartbreaking. These individuals, dedicated to caring for the most vulnerable members of our society, became victims themselves. Their peaceful assembly, a testament to their commitment to a better future, was shattered by an act of senseless violence. Their voices, silenced in the most tragic way imaginable, deserve to be heard. This tragedy underscores the importance of listening to the voices of those who are often marginalized. It highlights the need for a more just and equitable society, where essential workers are valued and respected. The childcare workers' protest, though tragically cut short, should serve as a catalyst for change, a reminder that we must do better by those who dedicate their lives to caring for others. The air was thick with the smell of burnt rubber and the chilling sound of screams. Witnesses, their faces etched with horror, recounted the events with trembling voices. One woman, her eyes wide with terror, said, "It happened so fast. One minute I was walking and the next I saw people flying through the air." Her words, a stark and chilling reminder of the force and suddenness of the impact, sent shivers down the spines of those listening. A young man, his clothes torn and stained with blood, spoke of the chaos that ensued. People were running everywhere, screaming for help. "I saw a woman lying on the ground, her leg trapped under the car. I couldn't just stand there, so I ran to help, but there was so much blood." His voice cracked with emotion, the trauma of those harrowing moments etched on his face. Another witness, a shopkeeper across the street, described seeing police officers, their weapons drawn, approaching the car cautiously. They were shouting at the driver, but he wouldn't come out. Then I heard gunshots, and the next thing I knew, they were pulling him out of the car. His words painted a picture of a tense standoff, the outcome uncertain until the very end. These eyewitness accounts, raw and unfiltered, provide a glimpse into the horror and chaos of that day. They serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of this tragedy, the lasting impact on those who witnessed the carnage firsthand. Their stories, though difficult to hear, are essential. They help us understand the magnitude of the loss, the terror inflicted, and the long road to healing that lies ahead. The world watched in horror as news of the attack spread. Leaders from across the globe expressed their shock and condolences, offering messages of support and solidarity with the people of Munich. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz condemned the attack, calling it a brutal act of violence that has no place in our society. He vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice, assuring the public that we will not rest until those responsible are held accountable. Munich Mayor Dieter Reiter, visibly shaken, expressed his profound sadness and outrage. "My heart goes out to the victims and their families," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "This senseless act of violence has left a deep wound in our city. We will not let fear divide us. Munich is a city of strength and resilience, and together, we will overcome this." The Munich Security Conference, its agenda now overshadowed by the tragedy, released a statement expressing their deep sorrow and offering condolences to the victims and their families. "We are shocked and saddened by this senseless act of violence," the statement read. "Our thoughts are with the injured and the families of those who lost loved ones. We stand in solidarity with the people of Munich during this difficult time." These statements, though offering little solace in the face of such tragedy, reflect a shared sense of outrage and a commitment to unity. They serve as a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the bonds of humanity can provide a glimmer of hope. The world mourns with Munich, offering support and strength as the city begins the long process of healing. The physical damage will be repaired, the debris cleared, the streets reopened. But the emotional scars of this tragedy will linger long after the headlines fade. The city of Munich, known for its warmth and vibrancy, now bears the weight of this tragedy, a darkness that threatens to overshadow its spirit. The laughter of children playing in the park now carries a hint of unease. The chatter of friends enjoying a coffee at a sidewalk cafe is tinged with a newfound awareness of life's fragility. The city, once a haven of peace and security, now grapples with a sense of vulnerability, a realization that even in the heart of Europe, darkness can descend without warning. The emotional toll on the first responders, the medical personnel, the police officers who rushed to the scene is immeasurable. They witnessed the carnage firsthand, the blood, the broken bodies, the terror in the eyes of the injured. They carry the weight of those harrowing images, the echoes of screams and cries for help, a burden that will stay with them long after the last ambulance departs. The community, united in grief, has come together to support the victims and their families. Candlelight vigils illuminate the night, casting a warm glow on the faces of those gathered to remember and to heal. Flowers and messages of love adorn the site of the attack, a testament to the city's resilience, a refusal to let darkness extinguish the light. As Munich mourns, the world mourns with it. This tragedy, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace, compels us to reflect on the state of our world, the challenges we face, and the choices we must make. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths, to acknowledge the darkness that exists even in the brightest of places, and to rededicate ourselves to the pursuit of a more just and compassionate world. The Munich Security Conference, now more than ever, serves as a vital platform for dialogue and diplomacy. World leaders gathered in the shadow of this tragedy have a responsibility to go beyond rhetoric, to find common ground, and to work towards concrete solutions that address the root causes of conflict and violence. The childcare workers, their protest tragically cut short, remind us that peace is not merely the absence of war, but the presence of justice. It is about creating a world where all people have the opportunity to thrive, where basic needs are met, and where voices are heard. It is about addressing inequality, promoting understanding, and fostering a sense of shared humanity. The road ahead will be long and arduous. Healing will take time, and the scars of this tragedy will remain. But from the ashes of despair, hope emerges. The outpouring of love and support, the acts of kindness and compassion, the unwavering belief in the power of unity, these are the glimmers of light that guide us towards a brighter future. Munich will heal, and in its healing the world may find the strength to choose peace over violence, hope over despair, and love over hate.